Here's what I know. I bet all of you want to be part of a group of friends, a community where you're close and you're connected and you support one another and you have fun together, right? I do too. I mean, we all want to have good friends that we get to share life with and enjoy life with. We want to have people we can talk to. We want to have people we can have fun with. We want to have people we feel like we belong together with. We all want real friends. We don't want the kind of fake friends that you might find in a clique. But it can be really tough to know if you're part of a clique or you're part of a healthy community. Thankfully, we are not the first people to try to figure this out. So after Jesus left the earth and he went back up to heaven, his followers, well, they're trying to help people understand that Jesus had given them a new way of doing things. Now, the old way, well, that was exactly like being in a clique. To be an Israelite or a Jewish person, you had to wear certain types of clothes. You had to do specific things on specific days. You couldn't be part of the group if you broke certain laws or rules. You had to say specific things to specific people at very specific times to make sure everything was good. I mean, there were a ton of rules you had to follow if you were going to be part of the Jewish group. It'd been that way for centuries. So when Jesus came along, all of a sudden he changes all of that, which is why Jesus' followers are trying to help people understand, oh, now, if you follow Jesus, it's not about being in a clique. So Jesus' brother James, he was a big part of starting this new thing, and he really wanted to help people understand the old way of being in a clique wasn't what Jesus wanted. Jesus died and he rose again so we could experience what it's like to be part of a healthy community, not some clique. So James writes a really famous letter, and one of the main things he talked about was the difference between cliques and community. Here's what he wrote. He said, suppose, so he's going to give us an example. Suppose a man comes into your meeting wearing a gold ring and fine clothes, and a poor man in filthy old clothes also comes in. So James is like, okay, I want you to imagine this scenario where a group of friends, you're hanging out at church, and two very different kind of people show up. One of the people is rich, good looking, respectable, popular, however you want to think about it. The second one is poor, maybe doesn't smell so great, is wearing old dirty clothes, is definitely not popular. So now that you got that picture in your heads, here's what James writes next. He says, if you show special attention to the man wearing fine clothes, and you say, oh, here's a good seat for you, come on over here. But you say to the poor man, no, you stand over there, or you sit on the floor by my feet. Have you not discriminated among yourselves and become judges with evil thoughts? What a great question from James, right? Isn't that what a lot of cliques would do? They would gravitate toward the rich, good-looking, popular person. They would ignore, try to minimize, maybe try to shun the dirty, not so rich, not so good-smelling kind of person. I mean, if I'm honest, I might be tempted at times to do that too, right? It's a whole lot harder to welcome someone into my friend group who is way different than me. And it's a lot easier to welcome in someone who is similar, somebody who's going to make me look good, somebody who's maybe more acceptable to people in general. But James is saying that showing special attention to the better person means I'm discriminating. It's not loving. It's saying, oh, you can't be part of our group because you're different. You're not going to make us look better as a group. You're not going to improve how people think about us, so we don't want anything to do with you. That is the main difference between the fake community of cliques and the real community of Jesus followers. Listen, for those of us who follow Jesus, we have to love others differently. James tells us plainly, he writes, my brothers and sisters, believers in our glorious Lord Jesus Christ must not show favoritism. We can't treat some people better than other people. It's not what Jesus did. It's not what followers of Jesus should do. Jesus loved everybody, and he welcomed everybody as a friend. There's so many times when we see Jesus talking to, spending time with, hugging, welcoming people who were nothing like him. I mean, James had seen how Jesus included everybody. So he writes this advice to us or instruction to us, knowing real community is not about keeping people out of our friend group. Real community is about welcoming and loving everyone, no matter who they are, what they've done, or where they come from. So let me go back to our original question. Am I in a clique or am I in a community? Or to say it another way, do I have fake community or real community? Here's what I want to do. Let me give you the main difference between these two groups to help you figure this out for yourself. So fake community tends to exclude. Real community always includes. Fake community rejects new people. Real community accepts new people. Fake community says, if you mess up, you're out. Real community says, if you mess up, hey, we're going to lean in, we're going to help you and support you. Fake community shuts down new ideas. Real community allows curiosity about new ideas to flourish. Fake community treats other people as they're less than. You know, you're not as good as me. Real community, though, treats everybody equally. Fake community makes you feel like you got to pretend. Real community lets you be the real you in front of others. Fake community considers differences among people as being dangerous. Real community, though, embraces those differences. So, here's the personal question. What kind of friends do you have? What kind of community is your group of friends? Now, one final thing. Our goal is for you to have real community right here. It's why we say every single week, you matter and you belong here. But here's the truth. For our community here to be real, you have to be real in our community. You are a big part of this. You can create cliques here where you exclude anybody who visits. But if you do that, well, one, we're not going to be thrilled about it, and two, you aren't doing what Jesus said to do. As Jesus followers, love requires us to include people who are different than us. So let me wrap up by giving you 3 easy ways to include people here, okay? Number 1, just be friendly. When people show up here, smile at them, tell them your name if you've never met them, have a conversation, just be friendly to people. Number 2, be kind. Don't make fun of anybody for what they share or what they wear or where they're coming from. And 3, be curious. How about you ask other people questions to get to know them more? So, spend the rest of your time with your crew right now that you're sitting with. Spend the rest of the time talking about how we could create and enjoy that kind of great community here. Because fake community excludes, real community includes. That's who we want to be. So take a few minutes to talk about that in your group.